depicted Earth as a soft world of artists and diplomats, creatures too bound by treaties to avenge themselves. "They build ships for trade," sneered one admiral, "not for war. They will send words, not weapons." Laughter followed. In taverns, Earth warriors replayed the transmission of human screams as entertainment, raising their cups in drunken celebration. The galaxy's minor races, ever wary of the Dominion's wrath, nodded quietly, fearful of drawing attention. And yet, the silence of Earth was unsettling. Weeks passed, no ambassadors arrived, no treaties were offered, no pleading envoys came begging for peace. Only silence. The Dominion mistook that silence for submission. They convinced themselves humanity had been cowed, broken, humiliated. But silence, when it comes from Earth, is never weakness. It is the drumbeat before the storm. The shattering silence. The first sign came not from human space, but from the void. A Dominion outpost at the edge of Althar's rift detected an impossible distortion. Something vast moved between the stars, bending space itself. Their sensors screamed warnings, then went black. Hours later, the outpost was gone. No survivors, no distress call, just absence. Then another. And another. Within days, 3 border colonies and 4 listening posts vanished from existence. Not destroyed in fire, not raided by pirates, erased, as though judgment itself had descended. The Arith tried to trace the source, but the attacks left no signatures, no identifiable weapons, no evidence. Only a single message carved into the wreckage of a shattered station. "You drew first blood, now you will bleed." Fear slithered through the Dominion. The same admirals who once laughed now spoke with unease. What force could strike so deep, so precise, and leave nothing but silence? And then, comms across the galaxy crackled to life. A voice, human, unyielding, resonant with a cold fury that shook every listener to their core. "The Earth does not forgive. The Earth does not forget. You sought an ambush, you sought weakness. Instead, you will know retribution." The gathering of storms. The galaxy had heard whispers of humanity's fleets, rumors of war machines hidden in dockyards, ships wrapped in stealth and shadows, weapons outlawed by interstellar treaty. Until now, they were myths. Now they emerged. From Luna's shipyards rose dreadnoughts so colossal they eclipsed moons. From Mars thundered carriers bristling with rail cannons that could tear through continents. From Neptune's black forges came the Titan-class war platforms, each one a fortress capable of burning a system bare. And from the void itself, ships no one had ever seen before. Ancient designs resurrected, prototypes once deemed too dangerous, fleets once mothballed for peace, now unshackled in rage. Humanity did not send envoys. They did not send warnings. They sent steel and fire, a tide of ships blotting out suns, spreading across the stars with a singular purpose: vengeance. Every Dominion scout ship caught glimpses before being obliterated, armadas stretching farther than sensors could measure, their formation flawless, their silence suffocating. The galaxy realized in horror this was not a war, this was an execution. The retribution unleashed. It began at Karet Prime, a Dominion stronghold defended by 5 fleets. Confident of their numbers, the Arith awaited the humans, sneering at their delayed retaliation. Then the sky tore open. Human ships erupted from slipspace like a tidal wave of fire. Rail rounds as long as skyscrapers screamed across the void. Kinetic bombardments shredded shields like glass. Fusion lances cut through battle cruisers as though they were paper. Earth formations crumbled within minutes. Admirals shouted orders, but their voices drowned in the chaos of annihilation. Human dreadnoughts advanced without pause, shields glowing like wrathful suns. They fired in rhythm, a thunderous chorus of death. One Earth world after another was bathed in orbital fire. Cities evaporated in silence, their ashes carried on the wind of shockwaves. The Dominion's proud fleets, built over centuries, were gone in hours. And the humans did not stop. At Zorath's Ring, Dominion generals prepared to counterattack, only to watch as human marines descended from orbit in dropships blacker than night. They moved like shadows, armored soldiers who did not tire, did not speak. With precision, they dismantled defenses, leaving entire legions broken before dawn. The Areth had planned an ambush. Humanity's response was not an ambush, it was judgment. The collapse of arrogance. Word spread faster than light. Every corner of the galaxy whispered the same truth. Earth was not civilized prey. Earth was not restrained by weakness. Earth was a predator older than stars, its patience boundless, its wrath infinite. The Areth Dominion's proud capital fell last. Its skies turned black as the human fleet encircled the world. For a brief moment, Dominion leaders considered surrender. But when their comms connected, the human voice replied with only 3 words. Too late now. Orbital bombardments rained down in sheets of fire, oceans boiled, and the Dominion's throne world was erased from history. The galaxy trembled. Those who had once mocked humanity now spoke their name in hushed reverence, as if saying it too loudly might invite the same wrath. Neutral empires sent envoys, not with threats, but with offerings, seeking friendship or at least safety under Earth's watchful gaze. And the survivors of the Areth Dominion, there were few. Those who lived carried scars deeper than flesh. They whispered their warnings to anyone who would listen. The whispered fear. In time, the stars grew quiet again. Human fleets returned to their watchful silence. They did not conquer, nor did they demand tribute. They withdrew, returning to their worlds, rebuilding what had been taken. But the lesson remained. Every tavern where soldiers gathered, every council chamber where war was debated, every fleet commander who considered attacking the humans, always someone would speak the words. A warning etched in fire, written in blood, and carried by fear across the galaxy. Never provoke Earth again. Because Earth's patience is vast. But Earth's vengeance is eternal. The Chordal fleet descended on the quiet rim colony of Hesperia IV with the confidence of wolves entering a sheep pen. Their vessels were vast, cruel things of jagged steel and glowing engines, designed not for exploration or mercy, but for spectacle. They wanted fear. They wanted the galaxy to see what happened when anyone stood in their way. On the surface, farmers and miners watched in confusion as the sky split open. Then came fire. Orbital bombardments rained down, carving cities into molten craters. Whole districts vanished in a single strike. The Chordal commander broadcast across the system, his voice dripping arrogance. This is what your trust in Earth earns you. Your alliance is meaningless. Your guardians are weak. You are abandoned. The last words of a human envoy, captured while trying to negotiate peace, were displayed live on every frequency before his execution. His body was cast into the void as the Chordal laughed. The colony burned. The screams of children, the collapse of towers, the silencing of once busy ports, this was the price humanity's allies were told to remember. The Chordal left nothing but ruin and smug certainty. To them it was a perfect ambush, a warning to all others. Celebration of arrogance. In their victory halls, the Chordal feasted. They toasted to the weakness of humans. They spoke of Earth as a species of dreamers, of soft philosophers who hid behind treaties and diplomacy. Humans will not respond, their generals declared. They lack the will, they cling to words instead of weapons. By the time they decide, it will be too late. The galaxy listened. Some believed it. Others hoped desperately that humanity's silence meant strength building in shadows. The Chordal laughed even louder. They planned another strike, another colony to erase, this time deeper into the web of Earth's allies. Their fleets gathered, their admirals charted routes, they prepared another ambush. But in their arrogance, they missed a critical truth. The humans already knew. And they were already moving. The silence before the storm. Across the Sol system, silence hung like the deep inhale before a scream. Transmission networks went dark. Civilian chatter thinned to whispers. Deep in the Uit cloud, ancient vaults opened. Outdated maps spoke of forgotten scrapyards, but the truth was far more terrifying. Rows of battleships hidden for centuries, their hulls sleeping beneath ice and shadow. On Earth's moon, hangars split open, releasing leviathans of war, dreadnoughts whose hulls bore the scars of old wars, now reforged for vengeance. Their engines ignited with a low hum that shook lunar dust into storms. Everywhere, humanity was mobilizing. The galaxy noticed. Comms filled with a single broadcast from Earth's high command, cold and measured. You have drawn blood. You have mocked peace. You will know what it means to awaken vengeance. Retaliation has already begun. It wasn't a threat, it was a verdict. The retaliation arrives first. As the Chordal fleets prepared their next ambush, their sensors lit with alarms. Shadows stretched across their stars. At first they